Our next speaker is Rabbi Morris Allen. Rabbi Allen serves as a spiritual leader of Beth Jacob Congregation, a vibrant congregation in the Twin Cities, since August 1986. Rabbi Allen is also currently leading the conservative movement's work to produce a Hechsher Tzedek, a means of determining how workers are treated in the production of kosher food. Rabbi Allen.
Thank you, and thank you to my colleagues. It is wonderful, and thank you to all of you for being here. I am a witness to the broken nature of the immigration system and the destruction which its brokenness creates. I am Rabbi Morris Allen, the Rabbi of Beth Jacob Congregation, Mendota Heights, the founder of Hechsher Tzedek, representing the Rabbinical Assembly, the assembly of 1,300 conservative rabbis across this country, and Jewish Community Action, a social justice organization based in St. Paul, Minnesota. I am also aware that as a result of my work, my understanding of the Jewish imperative has forever been altered and affected by the understanding that the stories of a broken immigration system today are only the latest in a series of such stories. In less than a week, Jews around the world will sit down to Pesach Sidurim and open the Haggadah to read the story of the first group of migrant workers to have ever been liberated. In our telling of the ancient story of the Israelites' liberation from indentured servitude in Egypt, we remind the world of the unending covenant between God and the Jewish people, but we do something more as well. It is not accidental that in the retelling of this story we do so around the table, and that food occupies a central role in the telling. For the rabbis of the 3rd century, the symbolic role that each food item played underscored the importance of the story that we tell. That truth is no less important today. And while we have our tables graced with the traditional symbols of the season, each providing us with a story to tell, this year we are obligated to include an additional piece of the story. For we have witnessed what happens when, in our pursuit of fulfilling the ritual laws of kashrut, that we forget the ethical demands of our tradition. Just a month after Pesach last year, federal immigration raids essentially ended the production of kosher food in Postville, Iowa, in what has turned out to be a human rights scandal in slow motion. The very people, the migrant workers who had spent years producing the food we were obligated to eat, were rounded up and charged with criminal acts. In the process, they saw their livelihoods and their dignities destroyed. From my own knowledge of what was happening in Postville, I knew that the people who should have raided that plant were not the INS folks. Instead, a coalition of Labor Department folks, Health and Human Service folks, OSHA people should have infiltrated that meat processing plant where migrant workers were incapable of raising their voices against extortion, underpayment, forced labor, unsafe conditions, long hours, and experienced endless types of abuses and intimidations that they were subject to. Could there be a starker indication of how broken our immigration policy is when the means of production for kosher meat entails the exploitation of a new class of migrant workers? Our liberation from Egypt transformed how we saw the world. Our liberation did not lead us to self-pride or gloating or forgetfulness about our roots. Rather, we internalized the message of never forgetting those on the margins, those new migrant workers, those new people in need of liberation. And I am proud to belong to a people that has stood at the helm of so many social agencies and movements dedicated to easing the plight of the newcomer. And so in 2009, we have a specific directive as we gather to celebrate our own liberation. We can call now for the reform of immigration laws that hurt the immigrant instead of helping them. Indeed, that is what we are doing here today. And I am convinced that unless we are part of an active solution, then we are part of the problem. After the raids last year, I returned to Postville once again. There I met a 16-year-old boy whom I knew to have been arrested during that first raid. He was walking in the streets of the town during the school day. I asked, "Weren't you supposed to be in school?" The boy laughed as the translator conveyed my question. He had come from Guatemala, where he had never been to school, and in Postville, where he had never set foot in a school. He was 16, and though the federal law states that one must be 18 years old to work on a killing floor, he had already completed 2 years working with chickens and with air scissors after the shechita. That was the sum total of his education. I stand here today to ask that as Jews gather gather around their Pesach tables this year, they think about the journey of the food before them. Was the delicious chicken processed by an underage Guatemalan boy who never went to school? Was the lettuce picked by an elderly woman in the glaring sun of too long of a day? I ask all of us to remember the trajectory of the Passover Seder, from slavery to freedom, and to recall our responsibility to the stranger in our midst. If we are passive in the face of injustice, we have not learned the message of our heritage. Until our broken immigration system is fixed, our Haggadah can never be closed. Thank you.